Duchenne and our child, a personal experience. In November 1990, we were blessed with a beautiful son, our firstborn. He had 10 fingers and 10 toes, and he looked perfect. Little did we know that inside his little body there was a disease that would creep up on us and it would change our lives forever. At 17 months, he started to walk on his own, a late start perhaps, one of the first indicators that something may have been amiss. When he was 3, I started to notice that something wasn't quite right. He was tripping on thin air. He also had a funny way of walking. He waddled. We used to laugh about his muscular calves and say they looked like chicken drumsticks. His dad used to say, with those legs, he'll be a front row forward one day. At that stage, we didn't know that this was another telltale sign. On Christmas Eve 1993, we got the news that the test results indicated that Dominic had Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Shortly after that, he had a muscle biopsy and we got the definite diagnosis on New Year's Eve. I'll never forget that day. There was no family history of this disease. Our world fell apart and has never been the same. He used to have so much fun running around the backyard. He loved playing football. His dream was to play for Essendon. But Duchenne took that away. He loved to ride his bike and go fishing at the beach with his dad and younger brother. But now that's impossible. Slowly, Duchenne took that away too. He loved to run around at school and always participated in school sports, even though his legs wouldn't let him run as fast as the other kids, and he always got left behind. It was always fun to get the water slide out in the backyard and fool around with a few mates on a really hot summer's day. Insidiously, Duchenne took that away too. He always had trouble getting up from the floor. He had a peculiar way of doing it. Soon he was too weak to get up on his own. From the age of 7, we had to help him up. This is how he used to get up off the floor. It's the only way he ever got up off the floor. This is a characteristic of Duchenne. It is called Gowers' sign. The boys, when rising, climb up their thighs using their hands in order to overcome the weakness in their pelvic girdle. He got his first electric wheelchair in 2001 when he was only 10.5 years old. Duchenne had taken away his ability to walk. It was also gnawing away at his independence. At 12.5, he could still do the birdie dance. His arms weren't so weak then. In August 2003, when he was almost 13, he had to have a spinal fusion done to prevent his spine from scoliosing. He had 2 titanium rods anchored to his spine. It was a big operation for someone so young. As we lived in the country, we were away from home for 6 weeks. It was a very trying time for all of us. This lethal disease is like a creeping paralysis. Our son is now 17. He has no strength to move his arms. His respiratory and cardiac systems are weakening. Slowly, bit by bit, this disease is taking our boy from us. We are but one family struggling with the effects of this devastating terminal disease. I cannot describe the heartache we feel. This disease affects us emotionally, mentally, physically and financially. Can you imagine what it is like to slowly watch your son's independence and life slip away? From running around and kicking the footy to being totally dependent in his teenage years and to feel so helpless because there's nothing that you, as a parent, can do to stop this disease. The only thing we can do is to love our boys, support each other and hope for a cure. But in all honesty, for boys like Dominic, the cure will not come soon enough. I'll lend you for a little time, a child of mine, he said, for you to love while he lives and mourn when he's dead. It may be 6 or 7 years, or 22 or 3, but will you, till I call him back, take care of him for me? He'll bring his charms to gladden you, and shall his stay be brief, you'll have his lovely memories as solace for your grief. I cannot promise he will stay, since all from earth return, But there are lessons taught down there I want this child to learn. I've looked the wide world over in search of teachers true, and from the throngs that crowd life's lanes I have selected you. Now will you give him all your love and not think this labour vain, nor hate me when I come to call to take him back again? I fancied that I heard them say, Dear Lord, thy will be done. For all the joy this child shall bring, the risk of grief will run. We'll shelter him with tenderness, we'll love him while we may, and for the happiness we've known, we'll ever grateful stay. But if the angels call for him much sooner than we've planned, we'll brave the bitter grief that comes and try to understand. Author unknown. I produced this story in 2008 for the benefit of all boys with Duchenne muscular dystrophy, to help create awareness of the most common and tragic form of muscular dystrophy and how it affects the lives of individuals, families and friends. For more information about DMD, visit www.parentproject.org.au. Thank you.